In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Facebook ads to sell products online. A lot of people ask me how they can make money with their music, and while you can make money with streaming or just like digital music purchases, one of the best ways to actually try to sell people something, specifically people who are interested in your music, but you can use this to sell anything online. I'm going to show you it for how I sell my sample packs online. This will also apply if you have like a beat funnel or a beat store, as long as you can embed a pixel on it, or t-shirts or any kind of physical merch. There'll be some differences along the way, but I think with this kind of infrastructure, you'll be able to figure out the rest yourself. Now, if you want to hear more about this topic, like how to set up a store, how to actually deal with like Shopify and other like the platforms, the infrastructure around it, let me know and I'll get more videos on this topic going forward. So first of all, let me give you a little bit of backstory. I have this company that I started, that I own, called Genera Studios, and I sell sample packs and contact libraries and preset packs. And in the past, I've done some funnel structures using ClickFunnels, and I've done sales funnels with that through Facebook. But I wanted to just try using Shopify, not using a funnel, just sending people to the Shopify store with Facebook ads, tracking sales using conversion events, and see if I could actually make a profitable kind of machine that I can just run ads, and then if I spend X amount on ads, I'll get, 110% or higher back in return. Basically, spend amount on ads and get more money back in return. And the answer was yes. But first, I'll show you the product that I actually used for this test. I used two different ones. I used my Mellow Guitars sample pack, and I'm running a discount right now, so it's kind of a coupon code for 30% off. That's a good strategy to use when you're doing advertisements, to try to give people an incentive to actually buy now rather than just waiting until whenever and then forgetting. And then I also have this Clean Guitars sample pack that's a lower price product. It's already discounted, but they get kind of like an extra discount on top of it. So those are the two products that I actually used. Now, what I did is, you can imagine, is I made a conversion campaign. If you're not familiar with me and my channel, I'm all about conversion campaigns. And basically the way these work is on on your website, you can embed a Facebook pixel. Now, if you don't have this tool, hopefully this will show up, there's this free Chrome plugin called Facebook Pixel Helper. I'll pull this down so you can actually see it. Facebook Pixel Helper. It's a free Chrome extension. I highly recommend it if you're going to get into Facebook ads. But what you can see is that I have a pixel on this page. And on the product, I'm triggering this page view event. Now, if I add something to my cart, and then I actually go and check out the cart, I think there'll be a, maybe not, maybe I have to check out. Moral of the story is, initiate checkout. So if I were to go through this actual payment, it would trigger a purchase conversion. So the nature of Shopify and all the Facebook pixel events is all you do is you input your pixel code into the Shopify store. And then by default, they set up page views, which is viewing any page on your website, view content, someone looking at a product, add to cart, someone adds a product to their cart, initiate checkout, someone's about to check out, and then purchase. And that's when someone actually gives you money and buys the product. And you can use all of that information to, let's say someone gets all the way to initiate checkout, but they don't actually purchase, you can retarget them and be like, hey, we noticed you were looking at some stuff, here's an extra discount code or something like that. Whatever way you want to do it, that's kind of up to you, your creativity, and how salesy you want to get. I wouldn't do the example that I just gave you, but that's kind of one example of retargeting you can do. So as you might imagine, if we can set up a conversion for purchases, that means that you can make this kind of machine on Facebook ads that will go out and find people who will actually purchase, and then due to Facebook's AI learning algorithms for optimizing campaigns, it's going to get better and better and better at finding people who are actually going to buy your stuff. So let me walk you through how I set up. Actually, first let me show you the kind of timeline, because that'll probably convince you that this actually makes sense in the first place. I spent $2,446 testing this out to see if it would work. And now, obviously, it was working. Otherwise, I wouldn't have kept it going this long. It's not super profitable, but spent $2,446. And in the same time period, it's brought in $2,866. And so what that means is it's like a $420 profit, roughly. So what I noticed is I spent like $100 and I made like 105. So I did some optimizations. Then I cranked it up to like $50 a day, and then $80 a day, and then I was like, okay, spent $800, I made $1,000 back. This is the kind of game you play, and you kind of scale up and see if you can kind of maintain profitability. I could totally do this better. This was my first time really diving into doing this with Shopify specifically. We'll get into funnels in the future, but for this video, now let's dive into the actual campaign setup. And it's very easy. If you've seen my previous videos on using Facebook ads to promote your music on Spotify, it's kind of the same thing. But I'll walk through it just in case you haven't seen that. Basically what we do is we make a new campaign. I'm going to start over. And I use the conversion campaign. And basically, you can pick any of those conversion events like view content, initiate checkout, add to cart, purchase. And that's the one that we're going to use here. So I'm just going to name this test. Don't worry about all these features. Some of them are important, but I don't want to kind of bog down your brain. I just want you to understand this process. Pretty much always leave campaign budget optimization on. Reference my other videos if you're confused about that. Set some kind of daily budget, click continue, and now we get into defining our actual audience. Now, the most important part, and this is kind of the only thing that's going to be constant for everyone, is you're going to select a conversion event. Now, some of these are standard, right? Like view content, that's when someone views a product. And I don't know why it's saying inactive here. Maybe no. Sometimes Facebook just glitches out. I mean, you saw how this page doesn't normally look this messed up. So basically, you're going to select a purchase event. Make sure that your conversions actually work ahead of time. And what this means is that whatever you put in here, that's what Facebook is looking to do. That's the result that it's going to give you out of the campaign. So if you want someone to trigger, like just look at your product, you're going to do view content. If you want someone to get to add payment info or add to cart, or depending if you have an email list, it could be like complete registration. There's a bunch of different ones, but we're going with purchase in this particular instance because we want to make that sweet money. Now, the rest of this is my typical campaigns, but basically you're going to select some countries that you think, if you're trying to sell stuff, you want to take into account that like some countries don't spend money online, right? Like India doesn't spend much online. If you're shipping physical products, you might not want to go international at all. So you're going to want it. That's all up to you and what you're actually selling, right? Age, you got to think of your demographic. I can't answer that for you. Same with gender and detailed targeting. Typically, I'll turn off detailed targeting expansion as a first stab. But think about it. In my case, I'm trying to sell sample packs, right? So I'm going to try to think of things that musicians like on Facebook. And one example is like Ableton Live. That's, if someone's into Ableton Live, they're probably a producer, right? Another one might be FL Studio. And then you can kind of go down that rabbit hole, find all these different software companies that only musicians would like, different conventions, stuff like that, like NAMM, perhaps. And you're going to set up this kind of targeting level to target your ideal customer, right? It's kind of all up to you, which I know is not what you're probably looking to hear, but you have to do trial and error with this. Now, in terms of placements, you need to think about where your customers live. For the most part nowadays, I tend to just go with automatic placements. And I'll just do that for this example. Now, the last part is, again, kind of all up to you. You're going to set up your Facebook page and your Instagram account because, with Facebook ads, if you don't know, Instagram is owned by Facebook. So it's kind of the same thing. If you're running Facebook ads, you're also running Instagram ads. In this part, you're just going to upload your video or image even of your product or whatever kind of marketing material you want to use to target that ideal customer. You're going to write some kind of snazzy text. For example, I have a discount code and it's not going to last forever. It's a code that I put up for during the current world events that I don't want to mention to get demonetized and all that. But, I said something along the lines of like, stuck at home, here's 30% off. Grab it before it's gone. Something like that. And I think I also made a little reference to, the sample pack. Like want some mellow guitars for your hip-hop production. Something like that to kind of let people know what the product is and entice them to take action. You're going to enter in the actual URL. So in my case, let's say I was going with this mellow guitar sample pack. So literally just copying and pasting that and putting that in here. And then you also get a call to action option. You can choose like learn more, whatever is relevant to you in your product. Again, this works with not just sample packs. This will work with t-shirts. This will work with CDs. This will work with beats. This will work with whatever the heck you want to actually use it for. And I know this is a lot of information to like throw at you in one video, which is why I wanted to do this and see what the interest was. So let me know in the comments if you want to hear about any like of this other stuff that's around this, because this is a huge topic and I have a lot to share about it. If you want to hear more about just like what I do for Facebook ads and promoting music, you can check out that playlist right there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.